Hi everyone, welcome to the Storyist. We all have many blessings in our lives, and yet most of the time we fail to notice them. We don't recognize them properly, or simply take them for granted. Today, I will be telling you a story about an abandoned wife who always gives importance to expensive things. One day, she inherited an old barn from her husband, and she was surprised to see what was inside. Stay until the end of the video to find out what was inside the old barn and how it changed the life of the abandoned wife. Daniel and Madeline are a newly married couple and are just starting their married journey living happily in a small town in Canada. Daniel owns a small poultry farm, while Madeline works as a real estate agent. As a newly married couple, they're just starting to build their dreams. Madeline dreams to become a licensed broker and to have several properties in the city. She also dreams of having luxury bags, clothes, and shoes, as well as expensive jewelry, while Daniel only wants to live with her and their soon-to-be children happily, while he works a job that can provide all their needs and spend some time with them as well. As a sales agent, Madeline always wears high heels and elegant attire, while her husband Daniel is always in muddy or rugged look, since he is working all day in the poultry. Whenever Daniel is about to kiss her, she leans away, afraid that Daniel might get her dress dirty. Every time Madeline arrives at her workplace, she always feels the excitement since she is moving from one luxury place to another because of the flyering exhibit. One time, she notices the new Gucci shoes one of her co-agents is wearing. Out of curiosity, she asks where the shoes came from, and the co-sales agent answers her by saying that her husband bought the shoes as an advance gift for her birthday. Madeline wishes to have the same gift from her husband, since she only wears her old heels that she's been using for almost 2 years. She wishes that Daniel would buy the same brand of heels for her. After working the whole day, her friends ask her to have dinner with them in a 5-star restaurant. Knowing that she cannot afford to have dinner in that kind of restaurant, she refuses the offer and immediately returns home. While having a simple dinner with Daniel, she cannot stop thinking about having dinner at a 5-star restaurant. "Daniel, I wish someday you can bring me to a 5-star restaurant for dinner," says Madeline. Daniel smiles at her and says, "I would love to give you what you want, but right now, we are on a tight budget." Right after the conversation of having a fancy dinner at a restaurant, Madeline expresses excitement and mentions her upcoming birthday. She gives her husband a hint that she wants a new pair of heels. "My birthday is coming up soon. I would love to spend on my highest Gucci heels then. Well, that's if I have one," she simply hints. That night, Madeline sleeps with ease, knowing that Daniel might give her a new pair of heels since she already gave him a hint. Daniel always expresses his love in little things, whether he will give his wife a simple note, make her some dinner, or offer her favorite flower. That's mainly the reason why his wife fell in love with him. Thinking of the upcoming birthday for his wife, he realizes that Madeline wants a new pair of heels. Looking at his earnings at the farm, buying branded heels is impossible. He thinks about how he can make his wife feel special on her day. For almost a week, Daniel works nonstop to earn enough money so that he can buy her a new pair of heels. Finally, after a week of nonstop work, he earns enough to buy his wife a new pair of heels. Thinking of a way on how he can make it even more special, he starts planting rose seeds at the barn, making it extra special for Madeline. Every night, for 10 days before her special day, Madeline would constantly receive a short note from her husband. However, she doesn't bother to open it. She feels too busy to do so. She's just directly putting the notes inside her drawer. Daniel also prepares the dinner for her wife. Despite the exhaustion from the farm, he also finishes all the household chores. On Madeline's special day, her husband picks her up using his old Honda. "Hop in, I'll treat you to a fancy restaurant," says Daniel. Madeline is surprised by her husband's unexpected move, and she feels ashamed since all her friends' husbands have brand new cars. Madeline slips into the old Honda with shame, slouching down so no one can see her. She tells Daniel that it will be the last time he will pick her up from work. If he wishes to pick her up, he must have a new car. Daniel ignores all the words that Madeline says. Instead, he stays enthusiastic about the fancy restaurant he's talking about. On their way to the fancy restaurant, Madeline notices that Daniel drives the same direction on their way home. Confused, she just chose to stay silent. They arrive at their home. "What are we doing here? This is not the fancy restaurant I was thinking of," said Madeline. "This place is more special than eating at a fancy restaurant. Just give it a chance and feel the moment," explains Daniel. Daniel starts to play Madeline's favorite song on the guitar. After that, he serves his wife's favorite dish. Then, right after having dinner, he hands a letter to his wife. Madeline, take this letter as it is my gift for you, your special day. Soft words from Daniel. Unfortunately, Madeline is disappointed about how her husband treated her special day. She also feels bad about receiving a letter as a gift. Without reading what's on the letter, she throws it away and runs off, exclaiming, "It's the worst birthday I've experienced." Minutes away, Daniel follows her wife. He drives his Honda as fast as he can without knowing there's a gas leak. Soon after, Madeline receives a phone call from the hospital. "Is this Mrs. Madeline Smith? Your husband was badly injured by the car accident," the nurse says. Madeline rushes to the hospital, but it is too late. Her husband died minutes before he reached the hospital. She was so shocked by the sudden death. In just one snap, she became widowed and was left alone. After days of being alone, while cleaning their house, she sees all the notes that Daniel wrote for her 10 consecutive days. She feels that her heart is about to crush. She also finds the letter that she received from Daniel as her birthday gift. She opens the letter and it reads, "Dear Madeline, my life, the reason why I breathe," says Daniel. At the end of the letter, he mentions something about going to the old barn. Madeline trembles as she opens the old barn. It is filled with fresh roses. Daniel knows that it is her favorite flower. And what made it even more special is that Daniel planted them all for her. It is also full of sweet notes showing how he loves Madeline. There's old pictures of them as boyfriend and girlfriend until marriage. The old barn is full of their good memories. As she walks inside the old barn, there's a small box in the middle, and as she opens the box, there's a brand new pair of heels that she really wants. Madeline bursts into tears, remembering all the happy memories she had with Daniel, how Daniel treats her and how he loves her more than anything. What makes it even more painful is how she takes her husband for granted, how she doesn't appreciate little things that her husband did for her. She regrets all the actions she has done, being blinded by the material things and asking for more. She failed to fulfill her duties as a wife. Now that Daniel is gone, she can only linger on the memories she is left with. She cannot undo the past and how badly she treated Daniel. Full of heartaches, there's nothing she can do. She must learn to accept that Daniel is gone. Sometimes people are blinded by expensive things. We have the tendency to care more about the appearance and how expensive our clothes are, or eating in a fancy restaurant. What we don't realize is that we start to forget its true value. The true value of appreciation of things. Whether they are big or small, how expensive and cheap they are. What makes them special is how the giver takes time, care, and love. We should take time to appreciate simple things before it is gone, and before we regret the decisions that we make. Lastly, never take them for granted. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next. Stay tuned!